Hello, children. We welcome all of you to this new class, to this new book, and a new journey into the world of science. As we will be taking you through your book through a series of video lectures and animated videos to make you understand the concepts. We really wish that you are able to develop a scientific point of view along with us. So, children, welcome to class 6 and welcome to this very first chapter of your class 6 science book, Sources of Food. Children, needless to say, food is the fuel for our body. The way the car runs on petrol or diesel, an auto rickshaw may be running on CNG. Our human body runs on food. And it is not just the human body that needs food. It also is required by plants and animals. Isn't it? So, we all know that plants, animals, and human beings are all living things that need food. And what do we need food for? We need food for energy. All day long, we all do different kinds of activities for which we need energy. Where do we get this energy from? Food. It protects us from diseases. So we all know that food adds a lot of immunity to our body. Whenever the disease causing germs strike at our body is able to fight back. So we do not fall ill. It helps our body to grow. We all understand that we were born like a tiny baby and now we are growing up. We are here in grade 6. So, how did we grow up from this little baby to this bigger child? By eating healthy food. It replaces our worn out tissues. How does it do that? So, children, at some stage in your life, you may have fallen or had an injury where there would have been a cut, or you would have seen your sibling or family members with a cut due to some kind of injury. How did that cut heal? How did the cells in that cut grow back? It was because of the food that we are eating that replaces our worn out tissues. So you see the wonderful functions of food in our body. Children, let us now discuss how food is formed. In the sense that we eat food that mama gives us in a plate or in a tiffin box. But how exactly does that food reach there? Whether we are eating dal, paratha, eggs, fish or chicken, where does that food come from? All the food that we eat comes from different sources. So children, today we are going to learn how food comes from plants. Sun is the only source of energy on earth. And who utilizes the source of energy to prepare food? The plants. This energy is absorbed by the plants in a process which is known as photosynthesis. Let us break this word and understand. So the word photo means light and the word synthesis means produce. So what is the plant producing? The plant is producing food. How is it producing food? It is producing food in the presence of light. And this process is known as photosynthesis. So if we take a deeper look on the picture that is given in your book, we understand that along with light energy, plants need carbon dioxide. They also need water that is absorbed by the roots and sent up. This water, carbon dioxide and light energy together form food for the plant in the form of glucose. And they also release oxygen as a byproduct. So let's understand photosynthesis through an equation. CO2, which is carbon dioxide, plus water in the presence of sunlight gives us glucose and oxygen. And where does this entire process takes place? It takes place in the leaf of the plant. The chlorophyll of the green leaves traps the sunlight, and that is where photosynthesis takes place. So children, basically plants are the only living organism that prepare their own food. And who depends on the plants? Not only animals, but also human beings. So children, this is how the food comes on our plate. Now, depending on this particular characteristic, whether an organism can prepare their own food or not prepare their own food, they are divided into autotrophs and heterotrophs. So what does the word auto mean? The word auto means self. That means those organisms that can prepare their own food. And hetero means different. So heterotrophs depend on different sources for food and to derive energy. So this is how all living beings are categorized. Plants are autotrophs and animals and human beings are known as heterotrophs. Coming next to the sources of food in our life, in human beings' life. Children, we eat a variety of food. So let's quickly understand how we eat food. So we eat breakfast. We might eat bread, milk, and eggs in breakfast. Then for our lunch and dinner, we may eat a pulse preparation, a vegetable preparation. We may eat a cereal in the form of paratha or in the form of rice. This is what we eat through the day. Now, this is the end product that is coming to our table. How does this end product get formed? This is what we are going to understand in sources of food. Plants are a major source of food. We obtain food from plants in different ways. Cereals, pulses, vegetables, fruits, dry fruits, sugar, oil, spices, tea, coffee. Sources of carbohydrates. Wheat, rice and maize are rich sources of carbohydrates. Pulses, kidney beans, Bengal gram, lentil are good sources of proteins, and so are sprouted pulses. Raw fruits and vegetables form an important component of our diet. So children, what are the different food items that we get from plants as food? The first is cereals. What are the examples of cereals? We get cereals like rice, wheat, barley and maize. Then we get pulses like gram, which is called chana, green gram, which is called moong, black gram called urad, and pigeon pea called arhar. These are the pulses which are a rich source of protein. Children, fruits and vegetables also form an important part of our diet. Now, fruits are rich in vitamins and minerals and they give us energy instantly. And vegetables also provide many health benefits. We all know that some vegetables are also eaten raw in our everyday life so that we add roughage to our diet and get rid of problems like constipation. Children, this was about the various things that we get to eat from plant sources. Now I would like you to have a look at a little activity that we have given here. we understand that pulses are a rich source of protein. Children, sprouts provide much more protein than the pulse itself. And how are sprouts made? It's a little activity that you can do in your home, in your kitchens, or even in your classroom with the help of your teachers. So, they will teach you how to sprout the pulses in order to get more protein and more benefit out of them. The next important thing which we get from the plants is oil. We all know, we have seen our mothers cooking. We know that without oil, cooking is practically not possible. So, there are many different seeds of different plants that give us oil. Some of the examples are groundnut and sunflower. And other than groundnut and sunflower, we also have mustard. We also have soya bean. All these provide oil that is used in cooking. The stem of the sugarcane plant is a rich source of sugar. Now, this plant is refined and sugar is produced, and sugar is not only used to sweeten our beverages, but it is also used to make many desserts. Children, food also requires the flavor of many spices like salt, red chili, black pepper, and cardamom, green cardamom, black cardamom, cinnamon, bay leaf, and so many others. All these spices are also obtained from plants. Plants also give us beverages like tea and coffee. Tea is obtained from the leaf of the plant and coffee is obtained from the coffee bean of the plant. Now, these were the food items that we get from plants. Let us understand the food items that we get from animals. The first and the most important being milk. We all know that milk is called a complete food. Why so? Because milk has got all the required nutrients that not only help us to get well, but they also help us to grow and protect us from diseases. Children, from this milk, we also obtain dairy products. As we can see in the pictures, ghee, butter, and curd are all dairy products. The animals that give us milk are known as milch animals. What are the examples? Cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, and even camel. These are milk-giving animals or milch cattle. The next important thing and another rich source of protein is eggs. The birds such as hens, fowls, goose, and ducks give us eggs. The egg is rich in protein and vitamins. In fact, egg yolk is one of the rarest source of vitamin D for the body. There are also birds like hens that give us meat. In addition to them, we also use the meat of goats, sheep, pigs, and fishes in our everyday diet. Once again, animal meat products are a richer source of protein. Children, in order to obtain egg and meat from birds like hen, ducks, goose, etc., these birds are reared on a poultry farm. Okay? And fish, which is reared specifically for human use, is a part of the process called pisciculture. That is rearing of fish for human use. Similarly is the process of apiculture. Apiculture is the rearing of honeybees in order to obtain honey from their beehives. Children, we've learned about eggs. Let us quickly have a look at this activity in your book, which tells us how to separate good eggs from the bad ones. A very simple procedure. So take a container filled with hot water and put the eggs into the container. The eggs which settle at the bottom of the container are good eggs, and the eggs floating on the surface are spoiled eggs. So I'm sure when you come back from a long holiday and want to decide whether to use the eggs lying in your kitchen or not, you can take a quick test and figure out whether they are good or spoiled. So, children, you have learned about autotrophs and heterotrophs in this chapter. You have learned about the various sources of food for human beings. And you have also learned about the processes of dairy farming, pisciculture, and apiculture. Thank you for joining us today.